Hi everybody, Shannon Petrovich with Therapist Talks. Today we're talking about dealing with and healing from narcissistic relationships. There are two things that most people don't understand and don't talk about, and so they get lost in the fog for years and years after they get done with the narcissistic relationship. So it's really important to recognize those two things. If you want more details about that, my new book, Out of the Fog, Into the Clear, Journaling to help you heal from toxic relationships. Now, journaling is going to be the way that you actually work on things. So there are hundreds of journal prompts in my new book, and I wrote it for you guys. I really did. So I hope that it's helpful. And today we're going to talk about those two things. One is that internal negative self-chatter. So when you've been with a toxic person for a long time and they're devaluing you and then love bombing you and then devaluing you and love bombing you, and they're isolating you from your people and they're gaslighting you so that you feel crazy every time you think that maybe this person isn't good for me, and they make you feel crazy, and so then you keep internalizing that. So what's really important is that you not only look at, but you actually change that internal self-chatter so that you learn and develop some self-compassion. You remember who you are as an internal person, and you redevelop your sense of self and your sense of self-esteem. We talk about it in depth in that. The other piece is that you tend to disconnect from your rational and get over-involved in your emotional mind. So we have two parts of our brain. We have the higher cortex, which is where we can reason things through. We're very rational. We can sort of go from A to Z in a logical fashion. Then we have our emotional mind, which is just reactive. And it's fight, flight, or freeze, fight, flight, or freeze. And those are the only options from that perspective. So when we're in a traumatic relationship for years, we tend to live in that little amygdala where we are just reactivity and there's nothing else going on. We're really offline. Our higher judgment centers are offline. So one of the really, really important things when you're trying to get free from and heal from a toxic relationship is that you recognize the difference between the rational mind and the emotional mind. So the emotional mind is actually trauma bonded to that toxic person. The rational mind goes, dude, this is a bad relationship. You need to get out. So we need to re-empower our rational mind and disempower that emotional mind. We need to recognize, okay, when I think this through logically, I don't like this person. I don't like what they're doing to me. I don't like how this feels. And I'm going to decide to get out. So that's our rational mind. And then our emotional mind goes, oh, no. You've got to stay in this. You have too much invested. It's too scary to get out, all those kinds of things. So that emotional mind reacts. And it's so trauma bonded to that person that it tells you that you love that person. It tells you that you want that person, you want that relationship. But it's fooling you, and it's you can't trust your heart and trust your gut, which is what everybody says in our culture. Trust your heart. No, you can't. If you're in an abusive, toxic relationship, you cannot. You have to trust your brain. You have to reason things through from a very rational perspective. So those are the two things that most people miss when they're trying to deal with and heal from toxic relationships. Again, if you want more details, please see my book, and it's available on Amazon and Kindle, paperback, hardcover, and ebook. So take care, and I will talk to you again soon.